Hey guys, welcome back to the Gaming channel. And though this video is not supposed to be made later on till 2 or 3 days later, basically, I'm still working on the Hightail project, plus some private server projects, plus some other games that I actually wanted to play, which I'm not going to feature on the videos. I wanted to make this video is because a couple of things. I wanted to show you what I'm doing as well when I'm doing my dailies. At the same time, I wanted to show you that sometimes players are going to be asshole to you in the game, and that's something that you have to look for. Some players can be very nice, and some ways of how the decks are being used. You know, sometimes with AMI or with non-AMI, how cooperate the players are. And at the same time, I've been asked this specific question in PM, which the players said, do top players like in most private server? I consider this technically a private server because it's not. EA Phenomic was the original was the original creator of this game, and if they wanted to, no matter what, they can shut it down anytime they want to. They say they wouldn't, but they can shut it down anytime they want to. So I technically consider this a private server. So majority of the private server usually are run by top players. A group of top players, they huddle up together and try to make decisions for the game, where it leads and such like that. Usually fails, sometimes it succeeds, like Warcraft. So someone asked me if are the top players actually running this game. Well, if you look at the balance, majority of the representatives are usually top players, from rank 1 to rank whatever, and they are the majority of one that speaks on behalf of the community, I guess, because they have been chosen by the community through vote, and majority of them actually speak in tense of actual balance for speed run and PvP. When it comes to anything about PvE, normally talking about the cards, the maps that are being out there, nothing about speedrun, just playing on the specific areas of maps, and at the same time the core mechanics of a deck or the mechanics overall, anything that's kind of like that, we don't have any representative, not at all. I don't believe so. The rest of the representative is using a speedrunner or a PvP runner. If you look at some of the decks, when they talk about a deck, they always talk about either a deck being splashable or something about PvP where the deck is a little bit too overpowered. I mean, well, not the deck, but the cards are a little bit too overpowered, or you know, a certain kind of splash seems to be a little bit too easy or so on, or at least too how do I put it, kind of like brainless, basically. So if they won't look at it, why a card has been built that way, why the card came to that deck specifically. So if I talk about Stone Skin, they will never know why it actually came to that way. The only thing they will actually think about is how it's affecting their speed runs or other speed runs or PvP. That's the majority of the content that they actually speak about. So to an extent, to answer your question to that extent, yes, it is being controlled by the top players, but all honesty, that's only some of the decisions, and then there comes the vote, and then I think Cubic makes the last decision of it. So until a decision has been made and we looked at all the decisions that suggestions and stuff like that, and discussion that has been made from the representative, we don't know 100% if it is being controlled or not. But to answer your question, it is through an extension, yes, because most of the representatives are speedrunner and PvP. For example, let me just say something about Lost Soul, hypothetically speaking. Someone may actually say that the spirit ships, if you spam red affinity with a crystal red affinity and then a green affinity, and then you just go all the way around, just pressing the button to just move forward, it becomes too easy in a splash deck. However, they don't actually talk about why Lost Spirit ship is in that deck. Like Lost Dragon is weak as fuck, and Warlord is not that great. Then you have the splash damage from Lost Spirit ship concluded with the same thing as the Lost Invocation, and at the same time, Lost Spirit ship green affinity specifically has the green ability to have a heal for them, and you probably will be able to see some of that in this video and so on. And if you take that away, you're actually basically having a blood sacrifice, which if you're using something like that in a RPVE, you gotta hope that someone else has a regrowth, equilibrium, and revenge on you so you can survive, or you have to put a blood healing on someone that sacrifices their HP just for 15-meter heals. That you just have to somehow clunk up your units together to get that heal, because there are cooldowns on how to keep using it. It ain't like you can actually spam it. So they will not know why a card is actually built for a specific deck or anything like that. They just care about the speed run and so on. So to that extension, short answer, yes. Long answer, just go back to where I started talking about all this crap. So we're about to get to the video, and let's start. So what you see basically is a player who played back then when Ian Fanatic had the game up, and basically he wanted a shaman. So I told him I see what I can do, because I still have to keep some of the cash for surprise, and then try to help him up with the rest, as I'm trying to make some challenge in the future. Here's the thing is about this one, and this is probably why it's hilarious. The guy in question, Senpai, he pretty much went ahead and took my monument and my power wheel. And if you look at the chat at that moment, it says rule number 1: do not forget to keep all your cheating cards or something like that, which I do. I use his cheating card. It's called the Emmy Monument. He forgot to bring his Emmy Monument, and I told him that you get an F, because no one's supposed to forget your Emmy Monument. So he went ahead and took my power wheel, and he took my monument. Later on, he just tells me that I have to defend the bottom, which I do, and I tell him, you have a tier 4 now because you took my monument. You have a tier 4 now, go right ahead and summon another grinder. I mean, you're not doing your job on top, so you're just trying to defend the bottom, and my launchers can handle the bottom. So as you see right now, he pretty much left, and I, again, still be able to handle the bottom with just the launchers. At one point, the whole thing gets destroyed, but I put some launcher in there to stall, because I already know that he's not going to defend. He already left. So as soon as I saw that, I said I'm going to take his the monument and my monument and my power wheel back. And I told him, as I go ahead and repeat on YouTube, or on the video that I have right now, that I left because I was being a dick. Here's the thing: he takes my power wheel, he takes my monument, he does not help me escort. And if you're looking for a wiki, just for example, if you're new or something like that, if you look for wiki, an example, position 3 and 4 supposed to pretty much help escort and fight the 6 infestation. Position 1 and 2 go ahead and try to stop them from getting into the point, what is it, G in there? The middle area, where if that thing is destroyed, we lose the game. So later on, he pretty much just go ahead and say, F your family, gay ass son of a bitch. Oh, sorry, not the ass part. Gay son of a bitch, or something like that. I laugh at this because I am positive that he is hoping that we are going to lose this battle, but I act quickly and use the Emmy that I didn't forget to bring. So I go ahead and try to bring up the tier 4 and summon up the fence. Now, he expected us to lose in here for that, and obviously I went ahead and told him that, hey, we did not lose. Nice try trying to make us lose for the effort, for you being pretty much an asshole, taking my power wheel, taking my monument, leaving me with only tier 2 to try to finish everything, and you want me to defend the bottom like you own everything or something like that, like you think this game is fucking for you or something like that, like everyone should bow to your knee and respect you. No, it doesn't work like that. You do your job, I do my job, and don't take my monument next time. So pretty much at the end, I made a fortified defense with the launchers, with my ships, with my dragons, and my warlord, and we were able to finish the game. Which later on, I told my team, great job, because I have played with this person above me on the previous match, and in Dwarf Riddle, and we did a good job in there. Which is going to be showing on the couple videos, I don't know when, but somewhere a couple of videos, because I'm recording my voice on top as I'm watching right now. So after that, we finish, say congratulations to them, and then we move on. I think this is actually the area where I wanted to show someone who asked me about the, there was a little stalling between the ships, and I told him, it's like, well, it kind of did happen to me, where I will click on the number 2, which is click on everybody, like the whole ships, and I try to press quickly the X, and it will take quite longer for it to appear. So yeah, it did actually happen to me on the Dwarven don't think it's a bug because the next time I did it, it worked. So I don't know. It maybe is all these monsters trying to stack up, and somehow maybe it was a delay between the server and the client. I guess. I mean, the second time I tried it, it was fine. So I went ahead, finished it up solo, and it worked it literally just worked fine. Then I tried to finish my other dailies, which is basically, 30 minutes again on the next day and so on. Remember, these videos are a couple days that I wasn't making any videos. So I just wanted to do some expert like I did in the old days and see if I can do it with the Lost Soul without adding or changing anything in it. So the same cards that I had before, it will be the same cards that I'm using right now. So there's literally not much trick into this. You just put the defender on the wall and try to flank it from behind, and that's it. And once they have all this, try to have a tower that does a lot of damage. I saw a friend told me that I should use something torment or something like that. I didn't study all the cards again. Something torment, but I told him that I wanted to use my Lost Launcher because that is already originally in my deck and I don't want to change it. So I kite it with the Phoenix, which I know after I explode one more time, they have enough HP to make it revive, and then I started summoning the Lost Dancer. So I wanted to use my version of the Lost Soul to finish up an expert map. Now here's the thing is, the Lost Soul does damage to siege, but they still do pretty good damage as an AoE. So that's what I did, and then I will use my Phoenix every close to where it's about to die. I would try to make my Phoenix kill it. Help me with the AoE and such, and that way when the Phoenix rises, it just keeps rising and rising and rising after it keeps damaging them. Here I effed up though. I should have done it right as they're about to die so I can use it again on these type of mobs, the stone skin mob that was on me. So once I got down here, what I basically did is I killed like a couple of them, left I think about 5 of them alive, and I put a ice barrier because the thing is they do generate health when they're close to a building. So that's all I did. I put them close, and I try to alternate just a bit, micromanage it so that way they don't die, and they don't. They will not die. If you just keep micromanaging it to make sure that the one that has the more health goes in front of it. After that, I just went back down and tried to summon the Lost Spirit ships, maybe some couple of the armor towers so I can use, because I don't have heals, use the armor towers and able to heal with the ships. Also, I'm not going to use the blood healing because not only does it takes life from one, as it's sacrificing a little bit more. It's taking damage, so it's sacrificing the life force of it to give it to someone else as an AoE. As a 15 meter radius, and I don't think it's going to be more effective than just me using the ships and having more slots to use everything else. Here, I pretty much made one mistake. I did not know the amount. I didn't study again on that. I didn't know the amount it takes to try to not get paralyzed. So I just went ahead and used my green affinity Lost Dragon to try to stop that ability and then try to hurry up down. Again, this is actually my first time doing this, so apologies if it look a little bit messy, but it is my first time. Here's when I freaked out just a bit. If one of those defender dies, I lose. I made it so far on my first try, and I didn't want to do this again and again and again. So I tried to summon some of the Phoenix to try to finish it off, and then hurry up to the next monument to finish up the game. And this has looked at like more of a, oh, here it comes. Is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? And I went back and forth, back and forth. Is it gonna make it? Ah! It made it, and I won on that one. The next one, Defending Hope. By the way, I had a little private chat on the bottom left side, so I didn't want to show it. So instead, you can see the cute separate raging on the bottom left. Defending Hope, I think it's just really easy if you have towers, especially for the Lost Soul. I used the Rage Tower, not the Frost Tower. Both do fine, but the Rage Tower is going to do better. So the red affinity, by the way. The blue affinity is just going to give him a shield, so it'll last longer. It's generate a shield and stuff like that. But I rather have something that hits much harder. So I tried to go ahead and kite the Abomination, but did not work. So later on, I just ended up using the Emmy Monument and throwing up some T4 out there, and then it just became easy peasy. Someone told me, send me a picture. Not going to show it here, but send me a picture saying that, hey, Lost Spirit, the Lost Spirit ships are easy in casual. And I asked him this, not that person who said it, but the other person who sent it to me. If the Lost Spirit ship is easy and casual, but it belongs to the Lost family, which should have been Two Frost Through Shadow, by the way, because so many Splash users are using it, then wouldn't that be the same thing for the Ami Monument? That in casual, it is just too strong? Then, you know, gotta be really careful what words you choose, because that could come back and bite you. So yes, if I'm gonna say, if somebody's gonna say that the Lost Spirit shit is easy and such, then I'm gonna say the same thing for the Monument. Which, if you look over here, I didn't actually go to the T4 Monument on the north side. I just put a Ami Monument right there and then automatically finish the game. So all I had to do is defend, really. I didn't have to do anything. Once Rogue and KO is in the bottom, I didn't have to do anything. So in here, I'm doing a preparation because I am going to go up, and I don't know if someone is going to heal me or not or anything like that. I'm going to play independently. So the player right here went ahead and summoned his Ami, and I went ahead and summoned some armor tower so I can start hitting up, as I already did a good defense right here for the top not to worry about it. Now the funny part is that if the player did not have Ami Monument, the player literally had to have gone up there as a tier 3. And then that is a little bit difficulty to try to kill the shamans with just tier 3 alone. So he actually didn't need my help. All he had to do again is use the Ami Monument and you're good to go. And all I have to do over here is use my ship's special ability to try to heal me in case somebody else does not heal me with their regrowth or equilibrium or anything like that. So again, just be playing independently here. But yeah, as you see, Ami Monument is very easy, just like your supposed to Lost Spirit ship. So I just go right ahead and come to the south because he already got the north cover. I lose the Lost Evocation to increase the damage by 50%, and I just go to right ahead and try to finish up the 2 shamans and then the boss. Now here's the thing: is if the only reason I'm using it, honestly, the only reason I'm using the ship is the heals. I'm not using it for the damage, but again, it does have a pretty good, pretty well damage for AOE if you have a couple of them. Like 5 or 6 or so. However, I always come in at least with at least 3 or depending me 2 to 3 of each dragon affinity. So in here, as well as you see, no one is healing me or anything like that. Nobody throwing a regrowth and something like that. The guy on the top left, his partner left, and he, so enough, is about to have it in danger. The one on the right, I went ahead and used all of my phoenixes and Balburn to finish the camp, which I actually he was able to pretty much have more power to go ahead of me and such, because I am actually using the embalmment and a couple of phoenixes and stuff to just clear the area. So he doesn't have to push as much as I pushed. So now I see that the top is actually having trouble, but when I try to finish the boss, I will use the Lost Spirit ship's ability to try to be able to heal. As right here, for example, if you look at it, I use the Lost Spirit heal and try to go back and forward and so on. With the ship back and forth, while I have my my warlord and my dragon hitting on him. So right now, as you saw, he needed help on the top, but he did fine. I stopped where all the mobs are coming from and shooting up. At one point, as you saw up top, we got a couple of them coming to our side, but it was fine. I went ahead and used the Architect. I don't think anybody actually uses that. I used the Architect to summon the armor tower real quickly, so I could just go ahead and finish off the game. Now that was my first time seeing the DC in a long time, so I actually already sent that to Cubic. Next is this area right here, where I already showed in the previous video. Emma made one so you can actually test everything, and I wanted to actually play around with the void, manipulating the void, because the thing is, I was being conflicted between Decomposer and the furnace. So if you keep a look at that, I'm trying to push up the boy a little bit higher, and then using a bunch of spell, and then when they die, look at the power that I have instantly. It just goes up very quickly, which I said to myself, I'm going to be using the furnace instead of the Decomposer. That way I can have a slot to put on the Decomposer, because I didn't want to use that. Here is a part where we actually play as a teammate. This, I actually had to splash for the Lost Spirit ship, and I don't have ground unit, big ground unit, extra large ground unit. I only have the giant worm and the this Lost Spirit ship. I try to tell this guy is actually a great guy. He played as a teammate, and I play as a teammate with him. He even went and listened to the when I was talking to him, and when I said, "Can you please bring a unit to the bottom so I can take control of the cannon with a matter mastery." However, in here, what we did is I take one and he take one. We'll do this partner. I'm not going to take the monument, and then I'm going to take another monument, and then use a Emmy monument and try to finish the game like a dickhead. Like we're going to finish this together and such. That's that's how the mechanic worked, and that's how it was supposed to be. So as soon as I did that, though I summoned the Emmy money on the bottom, I don't destroy my creature just so I can get power to the void or anything like that. So I can slowly get more power to my actual power. But as you see, I went ahead and I used my aggressors, about 4 of them, which will keep bouncing those crystal defenders, and my crystal fiend to be able to heal with it. And then I stood up there just in case on the next defending slot to see if those guys actually appear from this side, so I can go ahead and use my there it is. So I can use my aggressor and try to defend it. And most of the players would just, with an Emmy, are pretty much dickish and just go right ahead and destroy their thing and try to get their T4 and roam around the area like they're Superman or something like that. No, I thought at this point, look, at this point I actually thought that he had a tier 4, but then I noticed he only had tier 3, because I was going to tell him, let me try to do a little bit of the crystal, or you do the crystal and I try to help the other guys get their monument, because it seemed they're having a little trouble and so on. However, he told me that yeah, I don't have my tier. I do have it on my tier 4, and I'm like, oh shit, you're still on tier 3. Let's go get your tier 4. So I went up there, try to help him out, and then try to roam around the map. First of all, I try to take the F point on my side, and then at one point I try to go back to defending, and then I try to tell him to try to defend their side or try to finish the area, and I try to defend theirs, try to help them with heals or something like that as a team. You know, not try to be one of those soul guy who just go around and try to finish the map for themselves. I don't like games like that. So I messed up on that heal. It was too slow on the response on that, but I still able to like save some units. And then I came down to try to defend as I see all the T2 building just to, what's it called, stalling. So we can be able to defend. I also tell him if he had a cold snap for a top, which I'm not playing my Lost Soul, so I don't have cold snap. So I have to go up there and then just use revenge or use regrowth or use equilibrium, anything that they can pretty much help him to survive. Once this actually happened, my partner just goes right ahead and try to finish the game while they also try to finish the game while I actually trying to help them out just in case something bad happened. Then I see that the crystal is done, so I summon one of the chips. I tell my units to go back to defend while I try to heal the top right side and try to defend them, so that way they don't lose everything while this whole mess is happening. However, even though it was a pretty big mess or something like that, we had an extreme amount of time together, and as you saw, that was the same partner that I used in the other game. And I like to match like this, you know. I don't care if it's casual or not. I pass on everything. Don't care if it's casual or not. I like having fun with my friends. I then talked to Amara, and he said that he's already building the anti-cheats, which are the anti-Ami, anti-enlightenment, and I asked him if he can just go right ahead and do the anti-cheese. And what I call anti-cheese is any decks that are cheesy, like all wheel that affect everybody, and incredible mode. So I asked him if he could even do that for the next map and so on, because as soon as I come back to play completely, we're going to play without the Ami Monument or anything like that. So he's banning all that type of cards and such. But I am also asking him to make a 4-player map without the anti-cheat cards and without any of the anti-cheat cards, cheats card, and any other cheese card, which is pretty much wheeled and, you know, incredible mode. And that's gonna be pretty much gonna be at the end of this video. I'm going to be finishing up the Hightail video, and at the same time the price It will be 1,000, but that video is going to be made in 2 or 3 days or so. I think from the last time I said that I was stopping making videos, which was supposed to be 6 days. So if you guys are interested, keep that in mind. It's going to be 1,000 Battle Force point for the winner, and that'll be the end of it. Have a wonderful day.